listener. This is Friday, the 12th day of November. And dear listener, on the show, I'm talking about how to end an affair. How to end an affair. And why am I talking about this wonderful Friday, dear listener? Being in just the line of work that I am in, I see very many things, and at times I have very jam-packed weeks. And one of the challenges that I've been seeing over the past couple of weeks is that people who are in affairs struggling to end them, or finding out, struggling on how they can be able to end them, and asking questions about how they can be able to end them. And I know this because there are many people who may be even listening to this right now who are in such a situation and thinking, okay, fine, I'm here, and how do I get myself out of it? And what can I do? So I've talked about this in different parts. I think the reflection I did a while back, I talked about what to do as soon as you find that there's an affair. Once I did it, second one I did about why at times a good spouse may actually be unfaithful. And I'm talking about how to end the affair. Now, it's going to be an interesting reflection because I'm going to address it from a point of questions also. Because the questions that we ask many times determine the outcome of what we do. And so the question that I'm going to put basically will give you a guideline on how to be able to understand the choice that you're making and how to make that choice better. For the break, I said all affairs have three outcomes at the end of the day. Outcome one is that you lose the existing relationship, and that the affair you are having becomes your main relationship, meaning you leave the one that you are with for the one who you're having the affair with. That's always first outcome. Second outcome is both relationships end up dying, or both relationships end up ending. That's option number two. Then option number three, dear listener, that takes place is that you lose the affair and you choose to focus on the relationship that you had. That normally is many a times what many people think is the best outcome. Is it the best outcome? I'd say not an absolute, because again, life is very strange, and I want to say that with a lot of let me say that with a lot of care. But life is also very strange in how things work out. So, a few questions to ask yourself: if you want to end an affair, how do you end it? Ask yourself these questions. Number one question is, why did I start the affair? And many a times people fail to answer this question. And people are trying to, okay, it was a mess, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. But on a personal level, before you answer anyone else in the entire world, first question is, why am I here? Why did I choose to get in this situation? You must have an answer. If you don't have an answer, dear listener, it is impossible to end the affair. Because the answer determines also the gravity of the affair and how deep you are in it. So why did I get myself here? And every time, even in marriage, if you find that your partner has had an affair, one of the most important questions which should be brutally answered is why. Don't even ask the who. Don't start questioning, I found her with this man, or I found him with this woman. Don't question that. Go to the first question, which is why. And let them answer the question themselves before they answer you. Because the person has to be sure and say, I honestly began this affair because I was bored, because I was frustrated, because I was just this, or it's just bad manners, whatever it is. I have to have the answer, why did I start it? If you don't have the why you started it, dear listener, you're not a robot, you will not end it. And that's why I see couples at the time you find your spouse has had an affair and you jump in and say, I want you to end it now. And they can't end it now, because they have not answered themselves why they went there in the first place. Second question to ask yourself is this, and this is a dangerous question. With or without the affair, what is your genuine feeling about your partner? With or without the affair, what do you genuinely feel about your partner? That's a very important question to answer. Because are you just familiar with them? Do you want to end the affair because you are afraid of the guilt? Or you are afraid that if they find out, they look at you differently? What do you feel about your partner? If you take away the affair, that you have, how do you deal with your partner? Because many a times, dear listener, you find that we are in a situation where we are struggling, and we don't ask that very critical question, that how do I feel about my partner? How do I feel about how they are? Do I genuinely still love my partner? Do I genuinely still want to be with my partner? Do I genuinely still want to be with them and be where they are? Because at times, dear listener, my friend, the answer might be a very strong no. And if the answer is a very strong no, then I think you are having a different ball game to play, because it becomes difficult to walk away. So ukitoa affair, do you still find your partner attractive? Do you still want to be with your partner? Very important question, dear listener. Number 3 important question is this: have the issues that led to the affair been resolved? Have the issues that led to the affair been resolved? Have they been resolved? Because if the issues that led to the affair have not been resolved, then automatically you are ending something which will start again. What sent you there? Umedil nayo. Has it been dealt with? You know? If you went there because you're a sex addict, have you dealt with it? If you went because the marriage didn't have companionship, has companionship been worked on? Are you willing to work on that thing? Are you deliberate to work on that thing? Because there's another flip argument that says, fine, I can, what if I've had arguments, if I end the affair, I might not be happy because I was looking for companionship and I could not get companionship. And then people say, no, end the affair, then come back for companionship. But again, the opposite is also there, is there the goodwill to work towards it? Very critical question, dear listener. Very, very important question to ask yourself. The next question, yes, na hii ndio ukweli kabisa, is that, do you really want to end that affair? Do you really want to end that affair? Because I've seen people coming to my office, and I've had couples in my office, very many couples, and the first thing we fight about is, I say, are you sure you want to end it? Are you convicted you want to end it? And I've seen people coming to my office, and we begin a program of healing the marriage and reconciling the marriage. We go through that whole work. But the person literally just re-strategized the affair. They never wanted to end it. You know, I had someone in my office telling me, Victor, to be very sincere, I am here because my partner found out I want our marriage to work. I don't want my family to end, but I don't want to end the affair. I just don't want. I asked the person why. I said, because there's something that I get that I don't want to walk away from. Now, that sounds like a very bad statement if you're listening to me right now. But from where I was sitting, I understood that this fellow has been forced to walk away from something he doesn't really want to walk away from. And that's a question which is important to be asked in any relationship before, dear listener, as you want to end an affair. And the next one is this: how committed were you? Hey, 30 marks. How committed were you? And how committed was the other person? That's a very important question. I've said this many times. People get into affairs for different reasons and in different stages of their life. Now, you have to look at the level of commitment and investment. And at times, in any family, in any marriage, you look at the commitment and the investment and find that at the end of the day, I have a choice. Did I sign up for a polygamous marriage or not? Because the level of commitment that my partner has in that other relationship is too much. They're not walking away tomorrow. They won't walk away today. So, my dear friends, you know, what is the level of commitment? What is the level of commitment? How deep am I in it? How deep am I in it? Then the next question is this: am I sure? Am I sure that I want my relationship to work? Am I sure that I want my relationship to work? This means that if at all my partner maybe doesn't change, or if at all whatever happens, do I really want my relationship to work? Because if I can't answer an affirmative yes, that I want my relationship to work, then why do I want to end the affair? Why am I asking these questions, dear listener? It is because people jump very quickly because they have been caught, and people jump on guilt, which is my final question, which is that, you know, do you genuinely want to end it, or are you just guilty? Do you genuinely want to end it, or are you just guilty? And 98% of people in affairs walk away from affairs because they're guilty. Not because they want their marriages to work, not because they feel that they're better people. No, it's just that I am now guilty, I was caught. And guilt, dear listener, never changes anything. Guilt is a short-term fuel. Ni moto ya magazeti. Guilt comes and burns through you, and you're like, I'm guilty. I want to end it, and end it. I block the person and delete them from my phone and throw the phone away. Then over time, when the guilt subsides, you realize that it was just guilt. You begin to miss the person, you begin to go back to that person. So when you've answered these questions, And all these questions point to a direction whereby you are convicted now, but the data is right. And now I look at it and say, I think I can walk away. Now I can leave. I think now it makes more sense. I think I want to fight for my marriage. Or I think that I'm at the place whereby I want to ignore my marriage and my marriage to end, and I want to move in this other person. Whichever way you come to that conclusion, remember this very simple thing, dear listener, that the only way to end an affair is to end it. You end it by walking away. You end it by walking away in the most amicable, respectful way. Walk away, because remember the other person. You'll never know their level of commitment. So you must understand that there might be collateral damage. You might understand that there might be a lot of pain. You might understand that you will miss them. You might understand that it might be difficult to restructure your life without them being there. But the only way you walk away from an affair, dear listener, is after you've answered these questions, is simply to walk away in the most amicable and respectful way. Don't walk away na madharau. That one always backfires and complicates things. It complicates things. This reflection will be available on my page, Victor Salamba, within the course of the day. Dear listeners, stay tuned to Radio Waumini.